Going to install a 2009 version of NAV in this virtual machine, and then run the upgrade processes required to actually make everything work inside 2013 in here. In this computer, I've already went in and extracted a 2009 R2 version in here. So the first thing to do is I'm going to use the classic client, and I'm not going to install it, so I'm just going to copy the executable files in here. So this one is my classic client, and not to make any changes to my 2009 installation, I'm going to make a shortcut down here where I'm just going to run it from, and I'm then going to change the ID on that one, so I have a different subfile than for the other one in here. So I can now open up this one, and let's try to open up a database in here, but I'll create a new database in here, and it should be on my server in here that was installed for 2013, and I will just call this one upgrade database file. And fine, I want to change a few options here to make it run faster, so I don't want to have the enhanced security, and I also want to set it up for simple recovery model, so it will make a lot less log in here. But then I'll create this database, and it comes up and say that the stored procedure is not available in here. So I'll go ahead and take a copy of that one and put it in Notepad in here, because I need this text in here to be as a stored procedure. The other thing I need to then copy from my 2009 version is the stored procedures. They're not used any longer for 2013 because it connects to the database differently, but I have the stored procedure here in my folder for the 2009 version here. So I'll go into my upgrade folder, and I'm just going to paste this one in here. So now I have my new files in here. I need to go to SQL Management Studio, connect to my database, and go create the extended stored procedures in here. So I have a new extended stored procedure, and the name is the one I put in the file in here, so I copy that one. And I'm going to browse to the folder where I put the DLL in. And that one is the one for 64-bit Windows here. So I'll go select that one and click OK. So I can now go back and try create my database in here. And it now works fine. So now I solved the first issue, getting the old DLL in here. So the first thing I want to do is actually restore the W1 database in here. So I have on my computer here, I have the installation CD, and in the C-side client folder there actually is a backup of the database. So I'm going to restore that one in here. This one is a standard 2009 R2 W1 version. There's no difference between this one and what's shipped in here. I just restore it as a new SQL database. So the backup finished, and I have a new database. And if I open up my menu here, I have my normal 2009 one. If I look in the folder where I had the 2013 version down here, there is a folder called Upgrade Toolkit, and there's some data conversion tools. One that is supposed to be run in 2009 executable, and another one after you actually finish the upgrade that will move the data around for 2013. So let's go import the first one of the upgrades parts in here. So I'll go import my upgrades in here. and some of the objects are in here because there's need new fields to be moved around and things like that one. And it'll say merge. These objects are going to be completely replaced with new ones from 2013 after finish the upgrade. So I'll just merge these one, that's fine. So I had 28 new objects and 12 merged ones in here. If I go find the form 104,101, it's an upgrade of the old version. And if I try run that one, the demo license don't have access to do that one. So let's go switch to a developer license here, and then open up my database again in here. And now I can run this form down here. So there's 2 steps. One is to transfer data, and that has to run by company because it moves the data one company at a time. So now if I had more companies in my database, I will need to switch to that one, run the form again, and do that one. But I only have one company, so the only thing I'm going to do here is basically delete objects. So this one now deletes every object in the database except tables actually. So if I go back here and look at it, I don't have any thing except tables left in my database because none of the objects in 2009 are supported in 13. So I'm done with the 2009 part of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and close my 2009. And I get an error, and that's because there's no code unit for anything in here left. So I'll go ahead and open up my 2013 development environment and open up my new database in here, my upgrade database. As I click OK, it comes up with a warning that this one will convert the database, and this one is a lot more than the normal conversion, because what it also will do here is actually convert all the text and code fields to use UNICode instead of using ASCII or ANSI code in here. So and yes, I want to confirm this one, and it actually now goes through and do a lot of things in the database. And if I go in here and actually looked at my databases, I'll see this one actually gets put into single user modes during the upgrade to be able to do some of the data conversions in here. So now the database version conversion has been done in here. I still need to run the code to actually do the upgrade, and to do that, of course, I need to have an application in here. And what I'm going to do is simply copy all the objects from another database. I'm going to take the standard demo database in here and go here and export all objects from that one. And I'm going to do it in FOB format, of course. So then I'm going to open up my other database again, the upgraded one, and import my objects here. And this one, there will be objects in here that has problems. And if you had a real database and not just a test environment, you have to merge the object. But I can just say replace all here, and it will now import the new 2013 objects into this database, including pages and reports and code units and so on. So it replaced all the tables and it created all the other object types in here now. So I now have all the reports, pages, all the things that I normally have in a database. Because you can't run any code in the development environment, you need to set up a service tier to actually run the upgrade code in here. So what I'm going to do here is run my PowerShell extension in here, and I'll run it as administrator. And I'll do a new NAV server instance, and I'll just call this one upgrade. And 8011, 80. I'm just putting in port numbers that I'm going to use. The only thing I really need here is my client service port number, that is 8012 in here. And it have now finished the setup of my new service tier in here. I need to do a few configurations in here, and I need to do that one from a notepad, for example, that runs as administrator in here, because in my instances I have my new upgrade, I have my custom settings in here. So let's go copy this one as a pass, and then open up notepad and do that as administrator in here. And that's the file I want to do. Because my demo database is not this name, I called my database upgrade in here. So I can save that one. And if I now run the Windows client, I should be able to select my new service tier. There's a few things in here right now. If I select my server right now, I called this one 8012 and I just called it upgrade. It will tell me there's not a service tier that is running right now, and that's because I haven't started the service yet. So if I look at my local services here, I'll go down and I have my new upgrade. It wasn't started down here, so I'll go start that one. And let's see if I can connect now. This one now gives me a permission error. My service here runs as network service, and that user is in the database, but they don't really have any permissions or not enough permissions in here. So let's go down and look at security and users, and I have my network authority or network service down here. What I'm going to be is check them as DB owner, and I'll also make them DB owner down here and click OK. And let's see if we now can connect. I now have my Kronos International, and I can go ahead and connect to this database in here. So this one is now my upgraded with all my new code, but my data coming from 2009 in here. I still need to run the second process in here, and to do that I have to import objects, and that's the upgrade objects in here. So if I go back to my 2013 version, upgrade toolkit, data conversion, and import the second part of this one in here. So it created 26 objects, and it replaced 28 in here. So if I now look at it, I'll have a new page, 104 and 2 down here, the new version upgrade function down here. I can run it from in here, and it will run the page, and there is no, you do not have following. I'm a super user in here. Okay, so let's just go run the page directly in here. Let's try to compile this one and see if that's what the problem is. I guess it don't like running on that demo license. So what I will have to do here is actually upload the developer license in here again. So now I uploaded the server license, and I will go ahead and restart my service down here. So my service restarted, and I can go open up the Windows client again. So if I now run that page, now I have license for it. There's a few things that needs to be done in here. Because of the dimension upgrade, it's actually going to run a SQL script directly, and that's why it needs the server name in here. So I'm going to do an edit in here, and this SQL server name don't matches, because if I go here, file, database, information, I actually have a named instance in here. So I'm going to copy that one and put in my named instance in here. But else, it looks fine, everything else. I'm going to test the database connection, and this code have access now to the database, so it can run the SQL script for the dimensions. But then I'm going to run the transfer of updates in here. And to access the SQL database directly with a connection, it needs to have a confirm. And I'm going to give it that one. And now it's running the upgrade process for all the dimensions. And it's running it as a SQL script code directly, because else it would take, what I heard, 10, 20 times longer actually. It's extremely efficient to run as a SQL script in here. So it finished the upgrade, and some of the objects in here were replaced. So just to be sure I have the right objects, I'm going to import my original objects again. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to first run that page in here again. And if I go to actions, I have these unused tables, so I can mark those ones. And the unused table has been marked, so they will be deleted. And then I will go ahead and delete the upgrade toolkit in here. This one will remove all the objects. And if I now look at it, there's no objects any longer for the upgrade toolkit in here. This bill of material register is in here. And I have to go delete that one manually, because I guess there's data in here. So no, there was nothing in here. So I can go delete that one also. Yeah, nice. I guess I don't have permission to it. But basically, the database has been updated now. Just to overlay the objects that were replaced again, I'm going to import my merged object, or my 2009 objects. 2013 object, sorry, in here. And replace all, so I get the exact same objects. So, and I'll just start a compiling here of all the objects. So the objects finished compiling, and one of the objects here, the table error log, is not compiling. But that's okay, because that's an object that needs to be deleted in here. So I'll go ahead and run the last step in here, And the last step is, because there's several new setup tables and so on, the company initialize function actually needs to be run. So I can open up my company here, and I only have Kronos International, and then I will just go run this code unit. And again, that code unit actually executes in the Rotel client that I have open behind here. So that's step also finished. And this concludes the upgrade. I now have the demo database from 2009 R2 upgraded to 2009 with all the new objects, with all the data moved from 2009 R2, where using ANSI in the database, to actually using UNICode in the database. It's several steps in here, but it's a process that is going to run pretty smooth, getting all the data converted in here.